graduate student at St. Mary's University. This is assignment number 2 for course number 605C, Developmental Psychology. My name is Dory, and this is...
This is Tom.
We both are going to be talking about different issues and concepts related to adulthood. First, I'd like to just give an overall introduction of some of the concepts in regard to adulthood. We're basically going to carry on a conversation with specific instances in our lives where different events in adulthood have affected us in different transitions. So together we're basically going to do a very informal type of a talk, and we're going to tell you from our perspective what it's been like to go through different stages of young adulthood. First, I'd just like to say that young adulthood is typically a time where most of us are in pretty good physical condition. I would say on a whole that I feel like I'm in pretty good physical condition for a young adult. I feel like I would like to get some more exercise in, but sometimes it's kind of difficult being that we're on so many time constraints. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's hard to find time to exercise, and then, even if we do have time, it's getting colder out, and you'd have to go inside to a gym or something to do that.
Yeah, but overall, how do you feel physically?
Physically, I'm in pretty good shape. Probably would help to get a little more, running and walking in.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. I know during the winter time it becomes more difficult to try to stay active, but we're going to make the effort to try to keep incorporating exercise throughout the winter months. I know most people, about 95% of people of 15 to 44-year-olds, they rate their health as usually good, very good, or excellent. There are specific behavior patterns such as diet and exercise and smoking and drinking alcohol that can affect our health. And I feel overall that we follow a pretty halfway decent diet. I know personally a lot of times we're on the run a lot, and I know that sometimes we end up eating fast food, and we're kind of working on trying to cut that out and eat home more often. In regard to exercise, we mentioned that we do get some exercise and we try to go to the gym, and I don't smoke, and nor do I drink alcohol, and neither does Tom. And for me personally, I just feel that I have a better chance of being much more healthier and more active without those substances in my system. Let's see. Why don't we address some concepts in relation to adult moral development. We know, according to Papilla and Olds, moral development is also addressed in our main textbook. Lawrence Kohlberg talks about moral development in adulthood, and he mentions that it depends primarily on experience, and as we're finding out, there's a lot of things that we're learning about young adulthood as we've experienced some major transitions in our lives. So we'll just kind of talk a little bit about some of the major transitions and some of the experiences that we've both gone through together. I can start first. I'm 26 years old. I just graduated from a 4-year college from Winona State University. I'm currently a nurse and licensed as a nurse in the state of Minnesota. I know the college experience, when I first started college, I was very unsure as to what specifically I wanted to go into. I know I wanted to do something in medicine, but I wasn't exactly sure what. I was thinking more of, becoming a doctor or a physical therapist, and I know as time went on, I changed my mind several times before I ended up deciding to become a nurse. And I'm very happy with that decision now, but I know that it took a lot of time and a lot of thought and a lot of coursework to try to figure out where exactly I wanted to be. How about you, Tom? What was college like for you?
Yeah, when I started college, I just went to the general classes, and I took the full 2 years before I finally decided what I was gonna, I was gonna go into business. And yeah, it's just hard to pick a field, when there's so many. But eventually, I had to pick something, and then, take those classes.
So you were pretty satisfied with the area that you chose?
Yeah, I like business, and I've done good in there, and yeah, I'm glad. It was a good choice for me.
Good. Again, college leads us into the next topic, an area of focus, which would be starting a career. Now we've had all these years of schooling, we've spent thousands of dollars, and now it's time to actually get out there and use the knowledge that we've acquired thus far. I know for me, it's been very exciting, very challenging, but at the same time it's been scary because it seems like there have been a lot of major transitions at one time. And I know for me personally, dealing with issues in regard to graduating, which was very exciting to be done, but at the same time knowing that I have to study for my boards and pass my nursing boards, it was a scary time for me. And then looking for jobs, looking for employment, which was scary, it was challenging, and at the same time, sometimes it was almost frustrating because it took almost 6 months before I finally found employment. So I know that, career and finding a career are very important aspects of young adulthood. I'm glad that we worked our way from college on to starting a career, and for some of us we're continuing on with more education. How did you feel about starting to work into the workforce? I mean, how did you feel about actually getting into the workforce? What were your feelings on those issues, starting a career?
Well, I've had summer jobs, and that gives you an idea of what it's like out there. But yeah, it's different. Usually, you would, in the fall, you go back to school, and you're just not used to working all year round. And but yeah, it does take some adjustment. And but yeah, I usually fit in, and it's good to earn your own money, and it's a transition, but it's usually rewarding, the way it ends up.
So you feel that it's a lot of hard work that really has paid off?
Yeah. It's a lot of school to get through, but if you end up with the job you like, then it's worth it.
Sure. I know just a key concept to throw in, younger workers are less committed to their present jobs usually than older workers. I think maybe that's because, when you're first starting off, you're not exactly sure where you want to be. You're not 100% sure, is this company that I'm going to work for or work with the company that I want to be with for the rest of my life? And because, we're new in the workforce, and we're learning the ropes, the ins and outs, it gets, sometimes it's, for some people, difficult for them to be committed right away because they just don't have the experience. And I know personally that, I know it's stressful and difficult to start a new job, but I feel like, being that I'm going to be starting a new position, I feel like I'm going to be very committed, and I'm very eager to get started and start working. How about you?
Yeah, it's a little, I'm a little nervous too when I start new jobs like that.